Who hired this old guy? He can't even pour a drink.
Today was the day the main office held a welcome party for the Ray hires. At 65, I was one of them, only to be told by my younger female boss, Jessica, to pour drinks and then hear her spew those foul words at me. Her comments made my anger flare up. It was obvious that she was the one who pulled her glass back just as I was about to pour. Still, being timid, I felt the urge to apologize and smooth things over. My apologies.
If saying sorry fixed everything, life would be easy, right? That's why you're not good at your job. You need to learn how to see your work through.
Yes, my apologies. It's pathetic to get lectured by someone young enough to be my kid over drinks. But as usual, her anger was unreasonable. I wanted to get back at her somehow, and the opportunity soon presented itself. I'm Keith Enders, 65 years old. I hit retirement age in March, but since I asked to stay, I'll keep working for another year. I joined my current company after college about 40 years ago, and at 25, I married a woman I had been dating. We had a son, Ryan, and the three of us lived peacefully together. But after 10 years of marriage, things became strained between us. We'd been together so long that we could have just ignored the things we didn't like about each other. However, what we could overlook when we were younger became more noticeable as we aged. Once the magic of love and romance that had held us together wore off, all that was left was frustration with each other. We initially held off on a divorce because of Ryan, but ultimately, when he was in high school, we separated by mutual consent. My wife took custody, and Ryan's last name was changed to Kennedy. He must have resented me and likely suffered for it. Divorce is a crushing blow to any child, no matter the circumstances. I know I was a lousy parent, but it's crucial to marry someone you can see spending your whole life with. I might be able to share this bitter memory with Ryan. I could feel this selfish desire because Ryan kept meeting up with me regularly. Even though his mother had custody, he was equally attached to both of us, and his mom never complained. After the divorce, he went to college and then worked for 15 years, but we maintained our relationship. Recently, when his mother passed away due to illness, Ryan took on the role of chief mourner in my place. Now in his late 30s and a fully grown adult, he's much more open and easygoing when we talk. As soon as my Ray employment was confirmed, I contacted him.
Dad, you're going to be working at the same place again, huh? That's great. I was worried about what you'd do with your days once you retired.
If that had happened, I would have found a new hobby. Maybe watching MLB broadcasts from morning to night on weekdays. Well, I guess that's not really a hobby.
Sure, that kind of life is relaxing, but it's too early to start longing for it. As long as you can work, you should go for it. I think it'll make each day more fulfilling.
Hearing him say that, I realized Ryan had really grown up. I can help but hope that Ryan will be able to live the life he wants going forward. I think so too. Thanks. I still have over a third of my life left. There's a long road ahead, and I've got a lot more to go.
That's the spirit, Dad. As long as you stay young at heart, you can keep going strong.
Thanks. I'm always rooting for you too. After I told him that, Ryan thanked me and changed the subject.
Hey, Dad, there's someone I'd like you to meet soon.
From his tone, I could guess who it might be. Got it, Ryan. I'll work with your schedule. Just let me know.
Thanks. I'll reach out again, and good luck with work.
Got it. After hanging up the phone, I wondered what Ryan's partner was like. April rolled around, and I started going back to work with a fresh mindset. Even though our company has many branches, my workplace remains the same, and so does my department, General Affairs. Before retiring, I had a managerial position, but my re-employment didn't include that title. Since I was never too interested in climbing the corporate ladder, I actually feel more relaxed now that I have fewer responsibilities. It wasn't that nothing had changed. We had a new department head. The new General Affairs Director, Jessica Anderson, was a woman who transferred from another branch in her early 40s. She had a tall and attractive appearance, but more notably, she was known as a very competent professional. She had risen quickly within the company and was rumored to be aiming for the president's position eventually. To me, she seemed incredibly hard-working, but perhaps because of that, she always seemed rushed. She probably couldn't help imposing her pace of work on others, as she was known to be quite tough on the employees. In the week I was re-employed, I noticed Jessica was being particularly hard on a female employee, Grace.
Hey, do you still not have that report ready? It's way too late. I can't wait any longer.
Grace had also recently joined our General Affairs Department and had previously worked under Jessica. Sitting nearby, I couldn't help but overhear their conversation while I was working on my computer.
Yes, I'll have it finished and submitted to you within the next 2 or 3 days.
As Grace hesitantly responded, trying to gauge Jessica's mood, Jessica shouted with visible irritation.
2 to 3 days, when exactly is that? Tomorrow, the day after, or the day after that?
I'll definitely have it by the day after tomorrow.
Ridiculous. You'll submit it by tomorrow. Got it. Honestly, I need it today. You should be thankful I'm even waiting till tomorrow.
In stark contrast to Jessica, who was leaning back in her chair authoritatively, Grace remained silent with her head down.
I can't hear you.
Yes.
Jessica coldly commanded Grace, who was still looking down.
If you understand, stop hanging around here and get back to your desk and work.
Obediently, Grace nodded slightly and hurried back to her seat. Later that afternoon, as I stepped into the hallway, I saw Grace walking from the opposite end. As we passed by each other, I took the chance to speak to her. Grace, are you okay after this morning? It seemed like you were getting quite an earful from Jessica. While expressing my concern, she briefly glanced in my direction, then looked down the hallway and over her shoulder. Then, turning to face me, she spoke in a subdued voice.
Thank you for your concern, but Keith, your voice is a bit loud. Just thinking if Jessica heard us now gives me the chills.
I hadn't intended to speak loudly, but it seemed loud to her. She gripped her upper arm tightly, a worried look on her face. I'm sorry about that. So, realistically, do you think you'll be able to get the report done by tomorrow? From how you looked earlier, it seemed like it wasn't something that could be finished quickly. Grace looked down, sighed softly, and then quietly started to explain her situation.
I'm pretty sure it's impossible, and actually, it's not just the earlier task I'm asked to do. I keep getting more and more requests. I was just wondering which to prioritize when she yelled at me. She hadn't even said that the report was urgent.
That sounds tough. Is she always like that? At my question, Grace looked around again.
Yes, she quickly gets angry or upset over things. And it's not just about work. Be careful, Keith. Well then.
She slipped past me and returned to her department, shoulders slumped.
Keith, can you come over here?
The following week, I was working on my computer when Jessica suddenly called for me. I quickly stood up and approached her desk to ask what she needed. "Ma'am, what can I do for you?"
The report I asked you for yesterday. Where is it? I've been waiting for it this whole time.
Jessica leaned her chin on her clasped hands and looked up at me with a glare. "The report? But yesterday, when I accepted the request, you mentioned it should be ready within 3 to 4 days. I haven't started on it yet, but if it's urgent, I'll get right on it."
What are you talking about? Are you kidding me? Of course it's urgent. Finish it today. You're not taking your job seriously, are you?
I was shocked by this contradiction to what was previously agreed upon, but quickly denied her accusation. "No, I would never do that. If you had mentioned it was urgent back then, I'd have it ready by today without a doubt."
You dare to talk back to me? Do you think your current position gives you the right to challenge me? You're just a hired contract worker, and before, you didn't get very far up the ladder, did you? Maybe you became a supervisor or team leader, but if that's all you reached, you're practically useless.
It's true that I hadn't advanced very far up the ladder, but calling me incompetent just for that was absurd. To Jessica, who held the position of manager in her 40s, I probably seemed insignificant, but that didn't give her the right to belittle people. The thought of being berated by a younger woman made me inexplicably irritated. Jessica immediately sensed my frustration and pointed it out.
Are you upset because I called you out? Your face says I'm not that kind of man, but you are, and you need to recognize that. You've just gotten older for no reason.
Hold on. Please don't make assumptions. I was just thinking about how best to complete the report you requested today. When I quickly defended myself, she laughed condescendingly.
See, your childish retort proves it. You pretend to have all these ideas but can't get the job done. Do you expect praise for that? The important thing is action and results. Make it tangible before you start talking.
I understood what she was saying, but those criticisms would only apply if I'd actually missed a deadline. I'd accepted the job with a clear understanding of the 3 to 4 day window, so there was no reason to be berated like this. At that moment, the only voices echoing through the office were mine and Jessica's. I could sense my colleagues behind me, listening intently, wishing for the confrontation to end soon. Not wanting to escalate things further, I reluctantly decided to comply with her orders. Understood. I'll have it to you by the end of today.
Humph, as long as you got it. Now, get back to your desk.
Later that evening, once the report was finished, she reviewed it on her computer and said,
From now on, make sure you know what needs to be done without me having to tell you.
"Yes." Surprised but unable to resist, I replied without thinking. 2 weeks later, on Friday, the headquarters was hosting a welcome party for the rehire group. Everyone in the General Affairs Department finished work on time and gathered at the main building, where the event would take place. All of the rehire members had worked at the company before, so it had a different vibe from a new hire's welcome party. High-ranking executives would attend, but with many familiar faces present, it was expected to be a friendly event. Tonight's gathering primarily brought together those from departments that included rehire employees. The entire company wouldn't fit in the venue, but this many people could fill up the banquet hall at headquarters. After the welcome party began and it became mingling time, I left my spot at the General Affairs Department's table to catch up with some old acquaintances. When I returned to sit down, a voice called out, teasingly,
Hey, where have you been? Sit next to me.
Turning towards the voice, I saw Jessica beckoning me over. She held a glass of red wine in one hand, her cheeks slightly flushed. The seats beside her and mine were vacant, so I took the seat next to her as she directed. She put down her wine glass, picked up a beer glass, and held it out to me.
Here, pour it for me. Hurry up.
Taken aback, I glanced at my colleagues at the round table, but they were studiously avoiding eye contact. Figuring this was part of the job, I grabbed the beer bottle and tried to pour it for her. But suddenly, she pulled back her glass, causing the beer to spill all over the tablecloth. Luckily, it didn't become a disaster, but an angry voice rang out from next to me.
Hey, what the heck are you doing? Can't you even handle something as simple as this? Who hired this old geezer? He can't even pour a drink.
The harsh words made my anger rise, but for now, I wanted to defuse the situation with an apology. My apologies.
Oh, if apologizing solved everything, life would be so easy, right? That's why you can't handle your job. Learn to do your work properly.
Yes, I'm truly sorry. Getting lectured by a woman around my son's age over drinks felt pathetic. Her outbursts were always irrational. But I didn't want to point that out and ruin a festive mood. So, with my face flushed red, I silently nodded along to Jessica's long-winded complaints to get through the evening. That night, I returned home and collapsed onto the sofa, utterly drained. The next day, around noon, I was watching the MLB broadcast in the living room when I heard my phone ringing from a distance. I often leave my phone somewhere and have to hunt for it later, which can be a hassle, but today I was lucky the ringtone saved me. I followed the ringing to the kitchen and picked up the phone near the microwave. The call was from Ryan, so I immediately put the receiver to my ear.
Good morning, Dad.
Hey, good morning,
Did my call wake you up?
Ryan asked, sounding a little guilty. No, the older you get, the earlier you wake up. Even on my days off, I'm up bright and early,
Got it.
he responded with a nod, and there was a brief pause. So, what's up? You have something to tell me.
Yeah, remember how I told you I wanted you to meet someone? It's kind of last minute, but how about today? It's Saturday, so you're free to head out, right?
Today? Yay, that's fine. But it's your girlfriend, right?
That's right. So you figured it out.
Thinking that it must be the case, I asked him something that was on my mind. Of course, I can tell. So, are you thinking about marriage in the future? Ryan, I'm not trying to meddle with your choice, but are you sure you want to introduce someone like me? A puzzled voice responded over the phone.
Why wouldn't I? It's only natural to introduce you.
Usually, yay. But since your mom and I got divorced and your last name switched to hers, we don't share the same surname anymore. There's no reason to introduce your future wife to a dad like me. All that would do is lower your standing. Ryan seemed a bit exasperated by my pessimism.
You're being way too self-deprecating, Dad. No way that'll happen. Besides, I want her to meet you, too. I'd like to know your opinion on whether she and I have a future together.
I'm not sure if my input will be helpful, given my track record with marriage, but if Ryan wants me to meet her, I can do that. Is this one of those listen to the elders things? Well, I did fail, so I'll probably be a tough critic. If you're okay with that, I'll take a look. Just remember that the final decision is up to you.
Absolutely. I'm not planning to put all the responsibility on you. So, how about the evening?
Got it. But I really hope that person is nice. On my end, the new department head since April has been a real pain. She belittles me every chance she gets, and yesterday she gave me a hard time again. She's tough on all the staff and is about Ryan's age. Feeling reassured by my conversation with Ryan, I started venting about Jessica. I felt a bit ashamed as a parent, but he kindly responded,
That sounds tough, Dad. You all right? Don't give her too much attention. But don't worry, my girlfriend isn't like that. So, evening it is, and I'll let you know where we'll meet later.
Ryan's currently a manager at his company and will probably rise to department head himself. Unlike me, he's competent, and I don't want him to end up with a boss like Jessica. Understood. Talk later. After ending the call, I returned to the TV. By evening, I arrived in front of the restaurant. They had already gone in and were seated. Meeting Ryan's girlfriend was making me nervous. Their bond might be strong, but my presence as a dad might affect it. I'll just have to behave humbly so they see me as a responsible parent. With these thoughts swirling in my mind, I found myself smiling. It's hard to tell who's really doing the judging here. But like Ryan said, it's my turn to assess his partner today. Taking a deep breath to steel myself, I walked inside the restaurant. When the waiter arrived, I explained I was here to meet someone, and they quickly led me to our table. We walked down a hallway lined with private rooms, stopping at the second-to-last door. I was finally about to meet her, so with my heart racing, I sat down, eyes lowered. Then, I slowly looked up. There she was, with Ryan, a familiar woman whose face I recognized instantly. Though my mind tried to make sense of the situation, there was no mistaking it. Sitting in front of me was none other than Jessica, the head of our administration department.
Let me introduce you, Dad. This is my girlfriend, Jessica Anderson.
Jessica had been looking down until Ryan introduced her. Then she glanced up at me. Her smile quickly turned to an expression of shock as her face froze. She must have recognized me right away. I awkwardly introduced myself, unsure how to respond. Hello, I'm Keith Enders, Ryan's father. The moment she heard my name, her face paled even further. Ryan noticed her silence and asked,
What's wrong, Jessica? Are you nervous? It's all right. Dad's a kind guy.
No, nice to meet you. My name is Jessica Anderson.
She replied softly, her voice unexpectedly gentle compared to her usual tone. She sounded nothing like the harsh, mocking person who often berated me.
See, you're just nervous.
Ryan said, trying to reassure her, and then turned to me and suggested,
Dad, why don't you order a drink?
They already had glasses in front of them. Ryan was drinking a beer, and Jessica appeared to have tea or something. The scene from yesterday's welcome party flashed through my mind. Jessica had yelled at me for not serving drinks properly and continued to hurl insults as she drank. After getting thoroughly drunk, she lashed out at other employees. I felt a mix of anger and disbelief. But knowing that she's around Ryan's age, I couldn't bring myself to criticize her harshly. Now that I knew she was Ryan's future wife, this situation felt completely different. There was no way I could let Ryan end up with a woman like this. I didn't know where they met, but if they were thinking of marriage, their relationship must be built on a lot of trust. After asking Ryan to order me a beer, I spoke to him while he was working with the tablet. Hey, Ryan, actually, I already know her. Ryan stopped and looked at me, exclaiming in surprise.
What? Really? You two know each other? Well, that makes things easier.
Next to him, Jessica stayed silent, her face tense. Well, we only met recently. To be honest, I see her every day.
What do you mean?
Yay, she's the head of my department at work. I'm directly under her. Ryan blinked repeatedly in disbelief, glancing between Jessica and me. Then, he leaned in to look at her and asked,
Jessica, is what Dad just said true?
Jessica gazed weakly at Ryan, nodded slightly, and began to speak slowly.
Keith, your dad is my subordinate. This was totally unexpected, so I was really surprised.
I see.
Because of my position, I sometimes have to say harsh things to your dad. It's not what I really mean, but he might not see it that way.
Before I could say anything, she started confessing her sins. Maybe she thought it was only a matter of time before her tyrannical behavior got exposed. She was just getting ahead of my accusations to protect her image with Ryan. Sensing Jessica's intentions, I didn't want to let her play this game her way. Ryan, do you really intend to marry this woman? I asked. Ryan immediately smiled brightly.
Come on, Dad, let me say it. Yay, I do want to marry Jessica, but like I said on the phone earlier, I still want to know what you think.
Let me just say this up front. I'm a failure, especially when it comes to marriage. But because of that, I have a pretty good idea of what makes one fall apart. Your mom and I failed because we only knew the good things about each other before getting married. We should have known about the bad stuff too. But that's something that happens in every marriage to some extent.
Yay, I don't know everything about her either, but I don't think it's something that should stop us from getting married.
Ryan's face lit up with confidence as he made this bold declaration. All right then, let me just say one thing. As I was about to tell Ryan about her usual behavior, Jessica cut me off sharply.
Keith, what are you trying to say? Don't exaggerate, okay?
Oh, nothing too serious. Also, Jessica, drop the formalities, will you? It makes me uncomfortable.
I'm afraid I can't do that. I'm someone who respects hierarchy. Even if you're my subordinate at work, you're Ryan's father right now.
I thought she was being a slick talker when we heard a voice outside and the beer arrived. We all raised our glasses, each carefully gauging the other, and toasted. After downing about a third of my beer in one gulp, I felt the tension ease and decided to let the chips fall where they may. Ryan, she's a department head and she's worked hard to climb up the ladder, but her attitude towards her subordinates is awful. She offloads work on us, hounds us relentlessly, and demands that tasks she'd given us to finish in 3 or 4 days be done by today.
Keith, calm down. Don't go making things up.
No, I'm calm, and I'm not saying anything untrue. If it was just me, I wouldn't care, but she treats everyone in the department like garbage, and she's always yelling at us. I had no idea she could pretend to be so well-mannered until today. After I said this much, Ryan hesitantly interrupts.
Dad, is that really true? I can't believe Jessica would act like that.
I complained to you about it over the phone today, right? That was about her. When I said that, Ryan froze, then spoke weakly.
Yay, I've been worried about that since I found out Jessica is the department head at your company. But it still doesn't make sense to me because I've never seen her act like that. Jessica, is what my dad said true?
Ryan's eyes locked on Jessica, a mix of doubt and pleading in his gaze. She calmly met his gaze and answered gently.
No, Ryan, your father is exaggerating. The person you know is the real me, so please believe me. If there's even a grain of truth in what he said, it's because I have to play the role of a tough boss. It's hard for me too, but it's the only way, so please understand, okay?
Listening to Jessica lie so easily made my anger boil over. Don't joke around. I'm sick of this farce. I'm leaving, Ryan. This is going nowhere. With that, I took a swig of beer and tried to stand up. But Ryan stopped me, offering a proposal.
Wait, Dad, I want to hear more from you both. So let's head to my place and have another drink there. We can talk it over calmly.
Ryan's words calmed me down, and I took a seat again. Jessica also looked frustrated, but she had no objections. After paying the bill, we quickly left the restaurant, ignoring the suspicious glances from the staff. It was only about a 5-minute walk from the restaurant to Ryan's apartment. I walked ahead, letting the cool night breeze blow over me. I could tell the two behind me were silent because all I could hear was the sound of passing cars. I stopped when I saw a convenience store, and Ryan's voice called out from behind me.
Dad, there's already alcohol and snacks at home. We're good.
Without saying a word, he could sense what was on my mind. I didn't feel like I could talk to Jessica without having a drink, but Ryan is quite a prepared guy. As soon as we got home, the drinks and snacks were laid out on the table. There was only one couch, so Ryan and Jessica sat there while I brought over a chair and sat in front of them. The three of us cracked open cans of beer and started drinking. Jessica hadn't drunk earlier, but this time she didn't hesitate. She quickly finished her beer, then asked Ryan to open some red wine, and the two of them poured their glasses together. By then, Jessica's face was slightly flushed. She could hold her liquor well, but was drinking so much at once really okay. You sure drink a lot, Jessica. Are you going to be all right? I won't take care of you if you get drunk like last night. Jessica gulped down her glass of wine and stared directly at me.
I'm fine. Mind your own business.
Shall I pour you another?
Don't bother. You can't pour properly anyway.
She must have forgotten that Ryan was right next to her because she spoke in a foul tone. Beside her, Ryan watched with a furrowed brow, but he gently asked,
Jessica, are you drunk? Are you all right?
I'm not drunk. Ryan, isn't this man no longer your father? Didn't you say your parents got divorced and you were taken in by your mother? Your last names are different, so I don't think I need to treat this man like he's your dad.
Ryan shouted in anger at Jessica's cold words toward me.
Hold on a second. Jessica, are you serious?
Of course. How could anyone respect a parent who left after a divorce? Even you don't, right? You're just pitying this guy.
Jessica seemed intent on making Ryan see reason. But Ryan immediately shot back.
Enough already. If you keep talking like that, I won't forgive you.
Hey, stop making that scary face. I love you, and you love me. Isn't that enough? What more do we need? You're special to me, and I don't want our happiness ruined by someone like him.
If that's how you feel, then treat my dad better.
Encouraged by Ryan's support, I decided to expose Jessica's true nature further. Hey, Ryan. This woman called me an old man. I don't deserve to be talked to like that. Maybe she was drunk at the time, but you don't talk that way to people. Are you really going to marry someone like that?
Is this true? You're lying, right, Jessica?
Hearing this, Jessica poured herself a glass of red wine, chugged it down, and exploded with emotion.
Shut up already. What's wrong with calling an old man an old man? Besides, he couldn't even become a manager. He's incompetent. Here I am already a manager in my 30s, so he deserves to be mocked.
Ryan immediately rebuked her flippant words.
That's not true. Besides, I'm only a section manager myself, and there's no guarantee I'll be a department head. Is this how you've been seeing things? Have you secretly been looking down on me too?
No, that's not it at all. You're special to me, and you're destined to become a manager someday. You're the only man for me. No one else compares.
It's said that when a woman is in love, she only has eyes for one man, and Jessica seemed to be the same.
I'm not sure, even if things are good now, you never know when they'll change. If you ever stop liking me, you'll probably start giving me the cold shoulder right away.
Yay, Ryan, that's obvious. Marrying someone based only on what you like won't work. If you still want to marry her after knowing her flaws, then go for it. Jessica scolded me for butting in.
Just shut up, you outsider. When custody went to his mother, you stopped being a father. You're not respectable at all. Trying to meddle in your son's love life is just going too far.
You're too drunk. The more you talk badly about me, the more you push Ryan away from you. Can't you see that? Faced with a probing question, she got furious and started proclaiming her love for Ryan.
Shut up, Ryan. There's no way that's true, right? Love is a deeply personal thing that grows between two hearts. When someone tries to interfere, it only ignites the flame to push them away. With you as our enemy, my love with Ryan will only deepen.
What kind of childish fantasy is that? A grown man would never take such nonsense seriously.
I'm grateful for your feelings, but I can't be with someone who insults my dad.
Muttering that and looking away from her, Ryan was met by Jessica's tearful plea.
No, please don't say that. You're all I have. My only source of fulfillment at work was getting promotions, and now that I'm a manager, that's done. It's not like I'll become the CEO. All I see is a brick wall right in front of me. There's no way forward, so I'm going to focus on my family.
That's not something you can handle.
Shut up. Don't say things like that. At the very least, I want to balance both. I can't live a work-only life anymore, and at the center of my world is you, Ryan.
She gazed into Ryan's eyes, but when no answer came, she poured herself a glass of red wine and brought it to her lips. Ryan spoke calmly.
Thanks, Jessica, but listening to your thoughts is starting to scare me. Are you idealizing me too much? Just like I found things I don't like about you today, you'll eventually discover things about me that you dislike. And like with my dad, you'll start hurling nasty words at me.
That's impossible. I give everything to the people I love, and I'm only being honest with the ones I don't like.
You're quite innocent. Some might even call you childlike. That's fine to see from the outside. It even makes me want to root for you. But that isn't the kind of personality I'm looking for in a wife.
Jessica couldn't bear the words that slipped from Ryan's mouth.
Hey, that's not true, right? Tell me it's not true.
You're so persistent, Jessica. If Ryan says it's a no-go, then that's what it is. He sees me as a bad example. If he can even imagine a breakup, then he doesn't want to marry. Plus, even if you and Ryan do marry, I believe it's inevitable you'll break up eventually.
Why would you assume that? You don't know unless you actually get married, right?
It's a valid point, but I've got experience. True, but it doesn't make much difference whether you do it or not. Either way, you'll regret it. Ryan already sees the regret of a future married to you, which is probably worse than if he hadn't married you at all. So, there's only one choice left.
Say whatever you want. I can't have a conversation with you. Ryan, you're just confused. Please, come to your senses. It's ridiculous that our relationship, which was so strong until just now, could fall apart just because of you.
Ryan ignored Jessica's soothing voice.
I'm perfectly calm. In fact, I see reality clearer now than ever before. I'm sorry, Jessica. I've been disappointed after seeing a side of you I didn't know. Maybe I'm just cold, but even if some people can love someone despite their flaws, I'm not like that. Jessica, let's break up.
Jessica immediately snapped back at his calm breakup words.
No, please, that's not true. Don't say that.
She grabbed Ryan's wrist, shaking her head like a little girl.
I don't take back what I've said.
Ryan replied coldly, looking away. Seeing my role was over, I said my goodbyes. Ryan, I'm heading home now, so you two work things out. When I last looked at them, Ryan was pushing Jessica away, clearly annoyed. The next afternoon, while I was watching a baseball game, my phone rang. Usually, I'd misplace it somewhere, but today I had a feeling I'd be hearing from someone, so I kept it nearby. Sure enough, it was Ryan's name on the screen. I took a deep breath before answering.
Hello, Dad.
Morning, Ryan. Everything okay after yesterday?
Yeah, we talked it out. I just dropped her off at home.
I asked about something that had been on my mind. So, did you two break up?
Yeah, I cut all ties. She might try to say something again, but I'm not getting back together with her. It's a good thing we didn't marry. It wouldn't have gone this smoothly if we had.
You're right. Believe me, I know that best. But I'm sorry this happened because of me. Even though I didn't want Ryan and Jessica to marry, I felt guilty.
You don't have to apologize. I'm grateful, actually.
Really, that's good to hear. After hanging up, I spent the rest of the Sunday afternoon dreading my meeting with Jessica the next day. When Jessica showed up at the office the next day, she was a completely different person. It was as if something had left her. She no longer summoned employees or yelled at them. When I greeted her, she forced a smile but didn't snap back. That was nice, but now the general affairs department's work was starting to stall, quickly becoming a problem in the office. She wasn't leading the team and just sat there, staring into space when she came to work. After losing her future partner, Jessica became so dazed that she couldn't focus on her job. Later that year, she submitted her resignation and left the company. While I felt responsible for that, I believed it was the right choice to protect Ryan. Nowadays, she's sold her condo and moved to a cheap apartment, working from home using her computer. But this work pays a fraction of what she earned as a manager, and it's nowhere near enough to make ends meet. I can easily picture her struggling through low-wage jobs in the near future. That year, I kept working as usual, and to my delight, my re-employment for the next year was confirmed. Since I mainly did tasks I was familiar with, as long as Jessica didn't mess with my pace, everything went smoothly. Grace, one of the female employees, seemed to appreciate my experience, as she often asked me questions. As for Ryan, no focused on his job after breaking up with Jessica, he was just promoted to manager. While congratulating him, I hoped he wouldn't end up like Jessica, but I trust Ryan will be just fine. Watching his future success and happiness will be my greatest joy as a father. There's still plenty of life ahead, and I'm sure we'll have many more wonderful days to come.